Agnes, women's rights lawyer, is with us, and we also have Saira Shah Halim, social activist, and we also have Amitabh Sinha, senior advocate of the Supreme Court. Namaste to everybody. Thank you very much. Flavia ji, there are a lot of people who believe that we've got the survey all wrong. There will be resistance from other women's groups. Where do you stand on this survey where Muslim women, more than 8,000 of them, have overwhelmingly come and said that we need to have equal rights? Flavia Agnes, can you hear me? All right, I don't think she can hear me. We'll try and go across. We'll go to Amitabh Sinha also. Amitabh ji, there are lawyers who believe you cannot do this in India. India is not ready for it. There are lawyers who believe that this is the right time, and if there was ever a time, this is the one. We're 75 years too late. Our founding fathers wanted it done, and that's why it's enshrined in our directive principles. Where do you stand? Is India ready for a common civil code?
See, there are two views always. You will find two views. One is dogmatic, one is pragmatic. So dogmatic people will think the same way you are talking about in the first place, that it is not possible in India at least. Why it is not possible? Because in Article 14 our constitution guarantees equality. And in Article 25 also it is mentioned very clearly. And moreover, in Article 44, in Directive Principles of a State Policy, the Common Civil Code was mentioned as the first required thing to maintain equality in the country. So why it is not possible? This is the best time when the decisive role should be taken by this government, and the government is ready to take. I don't think that this is not the right time. This is the most apt time, and most important, this is for the equality of women. I mean, Muslim women. And where are these people, these activists, women rights activists? They are just sleeping. Mahua Chatterjee type of brand of people. They should also come and then give their opinion. What exactly is right for Muslim women? Why they should be compelled, as you have just discussed about remarriage after the divorce from the same person, this halala, why they don't raise voice against the halala, that the woman is bound to be married and sleep with some person from the same family before marrying the same person. This is really like pathetic situation for India.
I think there are different interpretations of halala. But Amitabh ji, why do we need activists when we have Muslim women themselves? Muslim women themselves who have come out and said in our survey overwhelmingly, where they have said that we want equal rights. We want the age of marriage to go up to 21. We want to have the right to remarry immediately after divorce.
Let me congratulate you. Your survey is basically first step ahead of what Law Commission has tried to do that. I mean, in this perspective, you have created an environment, positive environment for the Uniform Civil Code. In Muslim women,
our attempt was to ask the question. The environment has been created by the respondents, the 8,000 plus women. Amitabh ji, I'm just going across to Saira Shah Halim.
Exactly.
Two or three questions.
My suggestion would be in this survey, one question should have been asked, that whether you are willing to give your opinion to the Law Commission or not. Because this is also important.
Well, we hope that the Law Commission takes cognizance, and we have very clearly said that we are happy to share the details and the raw data, because we have nothing to hide, and 90% of the respondents have revealed their name, age, etc. and where they are from. Amitabh ji, please stay with me. Saira Shah Halim with us. Saira Shah Halim, so 2 questions in the morning now. We've got 3 more questions that have been added. In the matter of adoption, there seems to be a certain amount of reluctance because of what Islam itself propagates. But like we know, in the 1937 Shariat Act is in variance there. They made an exception to the aspect of adoption. But let me ask you, where do you stand in terms of raising of the marriage age, being allowed to marry immediately after divorce, and of course the aspect of polygamy, that it should be disallowed?
See, I'm all for progressive laws. If you're talking about equal rights as far as adoption is concerned, if you talk about equal rights as far as inheritance is concerned, I'm all for women empowerment. The contention here is where is the draft? Because here it's not just about the Muslim community, whether the women here, the Muslim women are getting cornered, whether they fear triple talaq, whether they fear nikah halala. Firstly, I'll tell you what. It is very clear that the incidents of nikah halala and triple talaq were very few. However, they shouldn't have existed in society, but they were very few in number. Anyway, they've been done and dusted with. As far as nikah halala and triple talaq is concerned, pronouncement of instant triple talaq. Now coming back to the Uniform Civil Code, like I said, it is not a minority issue which is being made out to be. Firstly, we need to ask about the Hindu undivided family, the tax benefits they get, because there is a head of the family, and of course everybody has individual HUF has its own permanent account numbers and the tax returns independent of the members. We need to ask them, would they be okay with tweaking away their personal laws? We need to ask the tribals whether they are okay with tweaking their laws. We need to ask the
who is saying that those things
one second. Let me also get in Flavia Agnes, please. One second, yeah. Saira, finish.
Here it's being made out as the Muslims are up in arms and they're revolting against something that is very progressive. But here we need to ask now, I'm not talking about the survey.
Okay.
I'm simply ask, how many people individually do you know, or anybody in the panel knows, of a Muslim man in India who's got 2 wives or 3 wives? Because again, the cases of polygamy happens in the tribal areas.
I know.
It happens in the tribable areas. But this whole demonizing of Muslims and minorities needs to stop.
Okay, one second. I want to ask Flavia. Agnes.
Saira, one second. Goes to work
let me ask Flavia Agnes.
And he's busy trying to earn a livelihood. That's about it.
No, one second. The issue is a question of equality and it's a question of principle. In principle, why should one class of citizens, because they happen to be women, inherit only 1/4 the property, whereas men inherit half the property? That is, by and in and of itself, violative of Article 14. Flavia Agnes, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, so I was trying to ask you...
Is this question for me?
Yeah, that question was for you. Through the survey, through the 7 questions that we asked the 8,000 respondents who took part in this, we did not mention the words UCC to them even once. We never said that this whole survey is on Uniform Civil Code. We were asking principal questions on the idea that there should be similar civil laws for all individuals, and that you cannot have discriminatory personal laws just because you happen to be a woman and on the other hand you happen to be a man. That a man can inherit half the property, ancestral property of his or her parents, whereas a woman can only is entitled only to 1/4. Isn't that discriminatory in this day and age?
It is discriminatory and it should go. We should have uniform rights for all women in the property. Whether it's Hindu ancestral property, whether it's Islamic, Sunni, Shia, whichever law it is, the property clause should be changed, and women should get equal rights, equal property rights as their male counterpart. So there's no doubt about that. How do we go about it? That is the important question, not whether there should be a gender parity.
But how then would you go about it if you do not have a common set of civil laws for all individuals?
How do you bring in this common civil code, the common set of laws? Is it coming from above, or is it a participatory process? Can people participate in this process? How can they involve themselves? We have to take the community with us. We can't just say from above, yeah, from tomorrow everybody will have equal laws. What about the tribal community? What about the minority community? There's so many issues here, complicated issues. It's not so simple that we did a survey and this is what we found out. It's not as simple as that.